Today we're going to be doing some smoked ribs on the smoker, Memphis style, because we're in the Memphis area. It's 4th of July and I typically do some ribs around 4th of July. Just something I've been doing over the years. We got us some pork loin back ribs from Costco. I like to buy a lot of meat from Costco. They tend to have really high quality meat for decent prices. So let's bust these dudes open. They are sealed in there tight. And I need a bigger cutting mat. Obviously I've got 3 put together here that are ragged, but these are some rather long racks of ribs. A lot of times these ribs, and I feel like at Costco I've had different results, but actually there's 3 in here? There are 3 racks. I didn't realize that. I thought it was only 2. Nice. A lot of times there's a fatty-like backing on these ribs that needs to be pulled off. I've had to pull it off at Costco before with their Costco ribs, and then sometimes I haven't. So I'm gonna check it today to see if they are. It doesn't look like there is. So there isn't any. There wasn't any the backing membrane on the back of these ribs, so I didn't have to pull that off. Several ribs that you buy there, you have to pull that off. These ribs are trimmed up well. Doesn't look like I need to trim off excess fat. So there's some bonuses to getting your meat at Costco. What we are going to be seasoning with today is a Memphis staple dry rub. It's Central Barbecue rib rub. I've made my own several different times. I've used all different rubs. We've been eating Central Barbecue here in the Memphis area here recently, and they make a really good rub. So I had some in the cabinet, so I figured, hey, why not go ahead and use it this time. It's definitely a paprika base, but you want to heavily apply all 3 ribs with this rub. And I'm going to do these ribs. Probably going to do 2 of them dry and 1 of them wet, and I'll leave these 2 here that I'm going to season all of them, but 1 of them I'll end up putting some wet sauce on, because I know that I'm going to be taking these over to my parents' house, and sometimes people like some wet. I'm a fan of dry myself though. I'll eat either of them, but if I prefer the taste, I prefer dry. So season these liberally, and then we'll kind of pat some of that seasoning down in there. Make sure it's good and stuck. Flip them over and do the inside, season those liberally, and then get your smoker fired up. Actually, I'm not going to get the smoker fired up right now. You can do this. You can season these, several hours before you're ready to go on the grill, the smoker. I'm planning on going on around noon to 1 o'clock, and it's 10 o'clock now, so I'm going to season these and let them sit in the refrigerator for a little bit, and then I'll pull them out and let them warm up before I put them on the smoker. How I typically like to do my fires, I actually come in and put charcoal on the bottom layer, and then I stack whatever wood you pick, which I'm using hickory today, on top of the charcoal, and then I'll get me 2 starters, 2 fire start, well, it's actually 1, and I break it in half and start it and kind of drop it under a couple pieces of charcoal, and then I'll start the fire starters, and what I'll do is I'll let the fire get started with the grill open, and then once it looks like the charcoal's getting lit, then I'll start shutting it with all the vents open, and then slowly shut them down as I reach my desired temp, which is going to be 250 today, doing ribs. There's several different ways to do this. This is just a way that I've had luck in the past doing it. I prefer to do a majority wood when I'm smoking. Obviously I've got charcoal in there, but the charcoal seems to help the wood continue to stay lit throughout the cook. just what I prefer and what I like, and I've had good luck with it. You can kind of try different methods. Of course, there's a ton of different ways online, but this is just my preferred way. We've also added our place setter for indirect grilling. This is a necessity with this type of Kamado style grill. They don't come with the grills. You have to add them. Go to find them online or Lowe's or wherever you find your grill. I'm going to talk about the Char-Griller Akorn smoker slash grill. I got this grill at Lowe's 2 years ago, and I was in the market for a new grill. I had a little small charcoal grill and I had a gas grill, and I'm not a huge gas grill fan, but my dad had purchased a Kamado style grill that was ceramic, and I really noticed he started cooking on it, and it had, it was holding temperatures at 300, 250 really well, and I was really enticed by that because I had a bullet style smoker before and had to mess with the fire a lot, and the temperature would go up and down. So I decided to purchase this one from Lowe's after reading a bunch of reviews. It was a holiday season, I think Labor Day, and they had them on sale for, typically the grill's $2.99, and they had it on sale for $2.50. So I decided to purchase it, and I purchased it and brought it home, and it's not a ceramic grill. It's kind of a, you could call it a copy or a cheaper version. They actually take porcelain on the inside and they line it with insulation, so it still holds a temp really well, but it doesn't have the weight of a ceramic cooker, and ceramic cookers are extremely heavy, and the price is obviously way cheaper. So after reading the good reviews, I gave it a try, and it's really, if you don't have the money for a ceramic cooker, it's really worth the money to start here maybe. If you got the money and you want a ceramic cooker, I say go for it, because someday I will purchase one. But I've been cooking on it since, and it has changed my grilling just amazing amounts of skill level. Just I've learned so many things. The grill is extremely efficient, so it's sealed tight. It will, you can shut off the vents and it will go out within 30 minutes. So you can save charcoal. It will get extremely hot if you want to cook a steak at a high temp and get a real good sear. It's got a cast iron grate, and I really like the cast iron grate. It's awesome. It does good grill marks if you like the grill lines visually, and I've cooked all kinds of things on it. Chicken. You can also get a place setter that the place setters for smoking, which I showed earlier, or I'll show later. I don't know what portion I'll put this in the video. But you can also get a pizza tray, the ceramic pizza thing, and cook pizzas on it. I have yet to do that, but I do want to do that. So if you're in the market for a grill, this is a really good grill. I smoke briskets on it. I do ribs. We did chicken legs the other day, and maybe in the future I'll add some videos about other things that I've cooked that are simple that you can do that are really good. The grill holds up well. I don't leave it. It stays outside, but it doesn't stay in the elements. It stays under a porch. So occasionally it'll get a little rain on it from when we have hard storms that blow on it. But it seems to, after 2 years, seems to be holding up really well. And I'm really happy with the grill and the purchase. Someday I will upgrade to a ceramic cooker, just because I feel like they might hold the temperature a little bit better than the porcelain with insulation, but still it's really hard to beat this grill for the money, and if you can find it on sale, it's a great grill. I've got mine off Lowe's, so if you guys have any questions about it, feel free to ask me, and I'll try to help you in the best I can. So we have the vents closed down, and the grill is reading almost 200 degrees. We have the top one a little bit farther open than what it'll be when we're smoking. And I'll show you once we get to that 250 and we're holding the temp. And I've got the bottom one on around, there's numbers on it, around 2, and I'll probably end up around 1.5 on that for the smoke. That tends to hold. That's around your 225, 250 temp. And you can see internally the grill's reading 200, and obviously this is the temp right here. We're at 168, so we've got a second to go, but that shows you how much more off the thermometer is on the actual grill. So if you want an actual temp on this particular grill, you have to get a digital thermometer. gives you a more accurate reading. So we have these ribs piled on there. That's a full grill for 3 racks of ribs. They're pretty tight. They will shrink down a little bit, and I'll be able to move them later on. I do have these ribs where the curved side is up, and that way it actually will hold some juice. I prefer to do that also. They'll build up juice, and it seems to tenderize the ribs. We're going to shut it down, and we won't open this grill probably for a couple hours and let them smoke at 250. The temp will probably drop a little bit once we shut this, because I'm piling meat on there and I've had the grill open, but we'll bring it back up to 250 and let it hang out. In 2 to 3 hours we'll check it, and we'll see what the ribs are looking like. We'll probably flip them over, and then before it's all over, we'll end up wrapping them in foil, and they'll fall off the bone. But we'll see you guys in a little bit. All right, we are about 2 hours in, and we are going to take a peek at these ribs and see what they look like. They are looking good. Back side's looking good. And they look great. We're gonna let them keep rolling. They don't look like nothing needs. They don't need to be flipped yet or anything like that. I'm gonna leave them just like they are and let them keep cooking. So I pulled the ribs off the grill. It's been 3.5 hours. They're starting to get dark on the top, and I'm gonna wrap them in foil for the rest of the cook, probably another hour to an hour and a half. They're also starting to separate from the bone, which is what you want to see. So I'm gonna put them in this aluminum foil and wrap them tight, and then I'm gonna put them right back in the smoker. And what that'll do is that'll allow some the juices in there to create moisture and steam it, and they'll be even more tender when I pull them off the grill. They'll fall off the bone delicious. I know some people might not be a fan of wrapping or whatever, but I've had good successful results with doing mine this way, so I'm going to continue to doing it. I'm going to wrap them up and put them back on. And I'm pulling the ribs off. It's been 6 hours. Some of them are darker than others, obviously the way the heat is on the grill, but the bone is pulling apart from the ribs. And what I will do now is hit the dry ones with a little bit more rub on top of them, and the wet ones I will baste them with the sauce of your choice, or whatever you make some, buy some, whatever, and then we'll set them on the table to eat. But if you guys have any questions, feel free to ask. I'll try to help you out if you have any pointers. You know, I'm not perfect, and I can still learn. Grilling and smoking meat, to me, it's one of those things that you get better every year the older you get, and I enjoy doing it and love talking about it. So until next video, guys, peace.